You've clicked on this video for one reason and one reason only. To get more kills in Fortnite and to win more games. You'll be known as King of the Yard, carrying all your friends to them victory royales. This video will help give you all the tips and tricks to become the very best at Fortnite that you can possibly be. Hit that subscribe button whilst you're here for the very best Fortnite content every Tuesday and Thursday, and also hit that like button as it really helps me out. Tip number 1. Land at Tilted Towers, Retail Row, Salty Springs or Loot Lake. It doesn't really matter about wins at this point. Your KD, forget about it. You've clicked on this video to learn, so you shouldn't be worried about your stats right now. They will come after watching. Landing at these often crowded areas will put your skills to the test straight away. There will often be times where you can't catch your breath, and that's a good thing. You're conditioning yourself for those hectic endgame plays. Tip number 2. Don't stress yourself. Possibly the tip that trumps the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Stressing yourself out because of a bad play, or head campers, or whatever the excuse is, don't get worked up. It's the worst thing you can do. You'll go on a bad run of form, ultimately ruining your gaming experience. And we all want Fortnite to be fun, right? Tip number 3. I've decided to put this one in here as it goes hand in hand with the last tip. Over the past year, I've analysed many streamers and YouTubers, and I've noticed one thing that all good players have in common. They all stay calm. Now, people will have different ways, but my personal favourite is to talk myself through plays. I'll make call-outs to myself. Not only will this keep you calm and focused, it will also train your brain so when you play with squads, you'll become a leader and help your team to that all-important victory royale. So, they are my basic tips. Now comes the juicy stuff. Remember, if you're enjoying the video, please do hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe so you can keep on top of the Fortnite food chain. Tip 4. Learn your friends' play styles. One key thing I've noticed that makes average players into total beasts at the game is by the way they play. Complimenting the teammates, knowing when to push, being aggressive, and knowing when to keep a low profile, staying passive. If your friend's accurate with a sniper or any gun from distance, let them call the attack. Don't go all guns blazing when your long point isn't ready. Call when to rush, make the play before you play, and what I mean by this is call out the plan. If you're going to ramp rush, tell your teammates you're going to ramp rush. By doing this, everybody gets on the same page and you can create havoc for your enemies. Tip number 5. Organise and prioritise your loadout. So, with this one, it's mainly down to personal preference. Myself, I like to use an AR in the first slot, a shotty in the second, and a submachine gun in the third, whilst carrying explodes, a sniper, or a deagle in the fourth, and heals in the fifth. I almost never carry turrets. They'll only slow you down while trying to navigate to a trap or jump pads in pressured situations. Find what works for you. So, breaking down the loadout, the reason I use the AR in the first is because it's the most common all-round gun. Next to that, I have my shotgun for when enemies get a little too close for comfort. If I miss my shot, no worries. Switch to my sub and lay down some fast fire. Heals in the fifth. They can be the reason between winning and losing a game, and are almost essential for every win in Fortnite. Now the fourth is down to situation. I will almost always carry a deagle in this slot. It's my favourite gun and I'll explain why later. Explodes come in handy for late game. When people like to build, like the Donald Trump, they come in handy. And snipers because, why the hell not? Tip number 6. Use and abuse the in-game mechanics. In every game, there's always ways to abuse the system. This sounds like cheating, and in some cases, can be. But in the cases I'm going to talk about, they're being used by all the best Fortnite players out there. First shot accuracy. If you're on console and you aren't using this, then I'm afraid you're doing something wrong. You can do this with all guns, simply alternate between shooting and aiming, and you'll almost certainly hit more shots than ever before. But be careful. Epic are onto this, and they're going to nerf it in a future patch, To keep up to date with these types of things, be sure to watch my This Week on Fortnite series, where I recap and reveal everything that's going on in the Fortnite world, Thursday at 10 PM. The Deagle. This gun should be very well known by now for its deadly first shot accuracy and devastating damage. It's hands down my favourite gun on the game, and I will 100% bring you a Deagle only win right here on this channel. You will not want to miss it, so please do hit that subscribe button. So, after covering the basics, which everyone should know by now, and everybody should already be using, I'm going to let you in on my personal plays and techniques on how I win so many games with often a high number of kills. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get on. So tip number 7 is the Pincer technique. This technique is used by the Special Forces and is that effective and deadly, me and my friends decided to use it in our plays. Unsurprisingly, it worked. The logic behind this technique is to pincer your opponents, taking them from two alternate sides. When applying this in Fortnite, it defeats your opponent's ability to build effectively, and they become nervous and feel like they're being third-partied. You can take them from left to right, in front and behind, and even from above and below. The results are astonishing. Just make sure that you and your teammates are on the same wavelength whilst trying to perform this technique, as one bad move could result in one of you being downed and having to go through your opponent to get the res off. Tip number 8. Bait to bait. I love this one. It can be stupid and has resulted in me dying when another play could have been smarter, but the reason I still use it is because it's so surprising to your enemy, they don't know what's hit them, and when your teammate comes in storming for the kill, it's game over. Essentially, you pretty much sacrifice yourself for the good of the team, but you don't often end up dying fully. That's where your team comes in. To do this, remove yourself from your team, making sure the enemy is focused on you. You can do this multiple ways. You could pop down a turret so the enemy focuses solely on you, or you could start to move towards like maybe the left or the right of your team, building so the enemy can't shoot you, and they'll become more focused on you. Then your team will come in from behind or at the side and get an easy kill. Just make sure your teammates kill him in time before he does kill you. 9. Practice. Practice makes perfect. There's no better way than to take yourself into creative mode and practice building techniques, such as 90s, ramp rushing, double ramp rushing, and in some cases even triple ramp rushing. Or you could simply bully the bots, practicing your aim before taking your new traits into an online game. Practice will make you a much stronger force in battle. Believe me, the amount of hours I have put into creative mode, playgrounds mode, and just playing with my friends is unbelievable. This is why I've gone from maybe 6 months ago getting 1 or 2 kills a game to now averaging about 10 kills a game. Tip number 10 is have fun. Fortnite is a game. It is there for your entertainment. Please, if you are struggling with anything such as mental health, first and foremost, just turn the game off, please. It is not worth you getting worked up over a game. That's all it is, a game. Now, with the seriousness aside, like I said, Fortnite is a game. It's there for you to have fun, and it's not all about the kills, it's not all about the wins, it's not all about the plays. Yes, they're very nice when you do get them, but the main thing is you're having fun with your friends, and it's better than being out on the streets. So that's it for today's video. I hope that all the information I gave you has stuck in. If you do want to go back and watch any of it and just recap on it a bit, just to make sure you've got everything down to a T, go ahead, please yourself. If you've made it this far in the video, comment down below Pincer, as I know you all made it this far, and as I said, please leave a like and subscribe. It would really help out my channel, and I'll see you all Thursday for This Week on Fortnite.